You're listening to Patriot Radio, produced with the partnership of Reconstruct American Radio, with the mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, teach the future generations the value of freedom created by the men and women who have served their country. Currently playing on Patriot Radio, for the broken, top song Airport.
We Beat 3 Radio is produced in partnership with Reach Across America Radio. Support the mission to remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach future generations the value of freedom.
Truck it off.
Tom Cruise, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the We P3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it off.
Good evening, it's Andrea Eichmann here. I'm with the People's Patriot Project, and we are bringing you our weekly We Got Your 6 at 6 a live show, which then is podcast. Thank you. Thank you. Let's just keep it coming. Where's the music? It is the 27th of April, 2025, and we are bringing you a new guest tonight, a new friend that we've just made. And thank you, Jack, for loving this. This is fun stuff, always. Hey, we have Dr. Pam Arnell here with us tonight. She is going to be sharing some super awesome, amazing, big things and all the little things. And then we have music tonight with Mike Corrado, who, man, I've been listening to music. We're going to share some. You're going to have to go listen to the rest on your own because I'm sure we'll run out of room, or not room, but time. We'll run out of time yet tonight. I would like to thank our sponsors for tonight's episode. We have Green Hills Contracting. This is a veteran-owned business and operated business contracting company out of Moberly, Missouri. Thank you, Tim Newton, for making that connection. Catch 22, Derek Arozio. I saw you saying hi, Derek. Operation Texas Strong, who was here before we even started tonight. Good to see you, Bobby. The Kretzingers, never failing. And we have Boho Hobo's Hideaway with Lauren Iozio. We also do not have Brian Kenzer with us tonight, but Brian is usually here to share how he can help getting on the right side of your health, support American families, jobs, and the economy, and support the WP3 mission while you are doing your shopping. We have got a little link right here. Boom. You can catch Brian in action. Usually when he's not here with us, you guys, that means he is out on a call. So still current firefighter and EMS responder. So hopefully we'll see him sooner or later tonight. If you miss our show live and you don't know how to find it on a podcast, you can check out Reach Across America Radio. They play this show in its audio version on Sunday evenings at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Just search Reach Across America Radio and you will find it. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I see we have a lot of people tuning in. Brother Joe Meisch with the Temple Massager. He was here a few weeks ago. Man, I'm seeing a Peterson. Look at that. There it is with the WP3 sticker and everything on it. Oh my gosh, you guys, so amazing. I would suggest you don't take it to conferences that you might have to go to if you are expected to stay awake. It's a little bit dangerous that way, but it is so awesome to massage your temples in anywhere, face and head and neck. Thank you, Joe Meisch. He is awesome for sharing that with us. All right, you guys, I want to thank our sponsors one more time. I want to thank our guests. I want to thank our viewers for being here. Before starting this week's show, I'd like to ask you to take off your hats, stand if you can, cover your heart, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
Hoorah.
We're here.
I am so sorry. I've tried to take this toy away from Peterson, but it's
I gotta find more and new noises, and I'm gonna sing Rainbow Connection here, as mimicking Kermit the Frog. I don't know what's happening with the voice, but Rainbow Connection. Yeah, it's I will leave the singing up to Corrado tonight because wow, folks. We are reborning, regrowing, let's grow kind of comment. That's what we do. We come here every week. We make sure that we are putting boots on the ground and making a difference in the lives of those that gave us the ability to say what we want when we want. I do want congratulations, Ryan Feerick. I want to put that out there. Ryan Feerick is now been elected into one of the top positions in the state of Minnesota for education. Good friend, WP3 supporter. He is the treasurer secretary, and I think that's going to do a lot of good for us. And that just also let us sit down. We got to watch a lot of freedoms this weekend at the conference that we're at. And that's sometimes the hardest thing for me to accept and understand sometimes is the fact that we've got people are allowed to have their own ideas. That's not hard for me to get, but sometimes their ideas don't align with my ideas. And that's the hard part. And so I really do think we need to celebrate that more. Your voice is important. And if you have a purpose and a cause, and it's important to you, you need to let it share. Now, here's the difference, in my opinion. And I'm not saying anyone didn't do this, but please let your voice be an educated voice. Like sometimes you get those death announcements of Mike Tyson dying on social media on Facebook, and you text your best friend, "Oh, did you know Mike Tyson died?" And then you got to go do the fact check, and then Mike Tyson is out drinking hottie toddies over in Vegas, hanging out with whoever. Yeah, you got to. Don't use social media as your catalyst of information. And I'll be really honest, don't use your 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock news either. Find out. Go learn. Just because someone says it doesn't mean it's right. Just because they say it louder doesn't mean they're right. And I'm not saying to do this to create conflict. I'm saying be your own barometer of information. There. I'll step off my box politely. While we all get to lay our big fat heads on the pillows of freedom every weekend, night or day, not knowing what our men and women have done for you. No, okay. I'll digress. I digress. Check out our guest. We got Mike Corrado here. He is killing it down Tennessee. He is taking some time away from his family. He's at a wedding right now. Not right now, but he's down and he's hanging with us. So we appreciate it, Mike. Thank you for doing that. And the amazing Dr. Pam Arnell is going to tell us about her mission. And she's running around the whole country, hanging out with our friends, doing things, raising awareness. And another one of those veterans that doesn't know when to stop, doesn't know when to put it down, and has more things in the fire than anyone can juggle. And it's like the rest of us, but we are going to figure out a way to collaborate. She was just down in Nashville hanging out with Malachi, Chris Turner. There was one on there I didn't know. I'm not going to pull it up right now. Chris Turner and Scotty Frazier from Texas. There was another one, a young man, but I didn't recognize his name, and I'm not confident he was a veteran. Do you remember, Miss Arnell?
All I know is his name was Rhett, and that's all I know. I don't know if he's a vet or I didn't know his last name. I know he was with Malachias. So
okay. And then there's this guy, Shannon Book.
What's up, Shannon?
You don't know him, you need to, and check out his music as well. And he's got some great stuff. And again, the network just goes like this, and great friends and family from across the country. And do you know a Rhett, Mike, by chance?
Rhett?
No, but I'd like to run with the whole Rhett the vet thing.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm hoping that he is a vet, so we can now dub him Rhett the vet.
Rhett the vet. I like that.
Rhett, if you are out there, we need you to be.
Well, we'll reach out to Malachi. We'll reach out to Chris Turner too. We'll just say, hey, who's this cat? We want to know him. Regardless, because he's hanging out with cool people, so we might as well hang out with him too, right? That's how it works. That's the way it is. So, Andrea, could you tell us what's going on in the news, please?
Let me go grab the news. I would say really quick, but holy crap, like Jonathan's not here with us tonight yet. He might be. Really quick, does anybody else feel a constant need to drink water when Peterson is talking? Because I'm over here thinking like, I need to drink some water. That's actually, I got that for later. I have to go grab some lemons, though. Lemons, honey, and some bourbon. Will be happening. What I need?
Should I get some lemon and bourbon right now?
You need a hot toddy.
Mm-hmm. No bourbon for you. No. Okay, you guys, we're going to finish up April. April is the month of the military child. An average military child will move 6 to 9 times in the middle of a school year before graduating. It's estimated that since 2001, 2 million children have gone through a parent being deployed. Approximately 1.2 million people currently serving on active duty grew up as military children. 80% of these military kids are attending school in the United States. 1/3 of all military kids attending school will show behaviors such as anxiety. These are extraordinary. I got to cut in there because I listen to this every week, but it's even scarier when they don't show anxiety, probably because we all know what's going on inside. These are extraordinary children, to say the least. They have known sacrifice and hardship for most of their lives. By the time they reach adulthood, take a moment and recognize these sacrifices, because the serviceman or woman are not the only ones making sacrifices. We also have the month of April is National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. This time is set aside as a special awareness and education month that aims to bring exposure to sexual violence worldwide and educate individuals on how to prevent it. Every 68 seconds in the U.S., an American is sexually assaulted. 1 in 5 women, as well as 1 in 67 men, have experienced rape or assault in their lifetime, while the perpetrators are being imprisoned at a rate of 5 out of 1,000. The month of April gives us an opportunity to take a stand and show unity in an effort to stop these travesties and atrocious acts against our peers. We also have the National Month of Hope in April. This is all about celebrating the belief that things will work out, especially when it seems otherwise. This is because hope is a concept that is deeply rooted in our culture and our society. It is the reason that this great country exists, after all. Some brave souls risked everything because they had a vision of a free country where all men were created equal and possessed the hope that their vision would come to fruition. Webster's dictionary defines hope as confidence in the future. There is an acronym out there. HOPE is being used for hold on, pain ends. This is a large part of what we do here at WP3. We are the beacon of hope for those who are struggling to find confidence in their future, to walk with those and help foster the confidence that is within them so that they too can be a beacon of hope for those struggling in their own lives. One more thing in April is the 30th. So in 3 days, we have National Military Brats Day. We celebrate kids of the armed forces. The military brat changes schools on average 6 times, but as many as 12 times in their lifetime. 1 in every 25 American citizens is part of a military family. As per a rough estimate, as many as 15 million Americans are military brats. Their lives may be more difficult than most, but these constant disruptions in their childhood often bring them closer to their families for life. The term brat stands for British Regiment Attached Traveler, and it was assigned to families who were able to travel abroad with a soldier. The term stuck and is now used with reference to military children. Getting into May in a few days, May 1 is Silver Star Service Banner Day. The Silver Star is awarded to those who show distinguished valor in combat. It is the 3rd highest decoration in the United States Armed Forces. Silver Star Service Banner Day recognizes the sacrifices of the ill, wounded, and dying personnel, service personnel. The day also honors those awarded with the Silver Star Medal, as well as their families. The color silver symbolizes the gallantry of the service members, and blue symbolizes hope. These 2 colors reinforce the message of Silver Star Service Banner Day. And then May 2 is Childhood Depression Awareness Day. This was created to protect and help children who are suffering from this debilitating illness. In the U.S. alone, the suicide rate among 10 to 24-year-olds increased nearly 60% between 2007 and 2018. Depression is a collective problem everyone should be aware of. When it affects children, the responsibility is even greater. Use this Children Depression Awareness Day. Oh, something just happened. Use this.
Oh, that's my fault.
Did you just add something? Sorry.
Yes.
Use this as the perfect time to learn about it. There's so much information to cover, but please do some research on children depression if you have children or work with children, and let's do our part to combat this illness. And that is the news.
Thank you, Ms. Eichmann. I was adding some links, and I apologize. I forget we're looking on
Patriot Pride.
Thank you. This is typically not Miss Eichmann's job. This is typically Mr. Crochet's job, and not that anyone has a job. It's just the roles we fill, and so we miss Mr. Crochet when he's not here, and so now, and I still need to make a graphic for this, and I haven't done it yet, but this is now our moment in time for our call to action. Every time during the show, we do at some time ask you to get involved. And sometimes the involvement is super simple. Sometimes the involvement is, hey, we have a mission and we need to get this done. Who's got the resources to accommodate this? And sometimes those resources are financial. Sometimes they are boots on the ground, volunteerism. This is our weekly call to action, and I need you all to pick up your device real quick. And I want you to go to your text, and I want you to type in just thinking about you. And I want you to cut and then paste that into 6 different conversations with anyone in your contact list. But go ahead and scroll through that contact list and say, hey, I haven't talked to this person for a minute. I haven't talked to this person for a minute. And it doesn't have to be 6, but we call it check your 6. And when we say check your 6, we also want you to acknowledge that your safety comes first. It's like the conversation about putting the mask on the airplane. You can't help anyone else unless you're okay. And so make sure you do that evaluation, you do that survey, and say, you know what, I'm good. And I mean, realize our goal is to build and grow. And the version of us tomorrow should be better than our version today. So we're not expecting you to be perfect right now. But if you're struggling, hey, you can text us right now. Right now, my number all the time, free, open, clear, 763-238-5971. We'll get that up there. That is my line. If you are in need of help, support, or services, you can always reach out to the People's Patriot Project. And I have a feeling we're going to have another network of opportunity once we listen to Miss Dr. Arnell tonight. And I'm pretty confident just listening to the pre-show, Mr. Corrado would be available for conversations. If there was, I mean, we'll get through those pieces and we'll talk through that. But bottom line is, we all, and this kind of reflects back to that first conversation, need to be better. Be better. Learn. Have a conversation. Sit at a table you don't like to sit at sometimes and learn what the other people are about. But back to our check 6, go and make sure you are reaching out to your brothers and sisters. Yeah, we have people make sure or make fun of people that do push-ups. We have people that say, you know, doing ruck marches are good or bad. You know what? Shut up. If they want to walk 10 miles with a rucksack, let them do it. I ain't going to do it, but they can do it. They want to do 22 push-ups in the morning and say, hey, look, I'm thinking about the men and women out there that serve our country. That's theirs to own, brother. Don't worry about it. Who cares if you don't think it matters? It matters for them. So if you're doing your push-ups, do your push-ups. If you're doing your ruck march, do your ruck march. This doesn't cost anything, and you can reach out to 6 of your people. It'd be really cool. We used to do a call to action where we did a season where we tried to do 6 people a day for a month. It's really not that hard. I mean, to be honest, I saw Pam. Pam, did you just check 6? You did? Yeah. How long did it take you to do it?
Maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah. It's super, super simple. Here's the tough one, folks. I'm going to challenge you. There's that one relationship in your life that ended up sideways for some silly, dumb reason. Maybe it was off a prank. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. I'm not telling you to go check with your ex and stuff like that. That's not, if you want to, great. You know, you can build those relationships back too. But what I'm asking you to do is try to mend one of those relationships that got sideways. Maybe it was a complete misunderstanding. Who's the bigger person here? have that conversation. Just say, hey, I was just thinking about you, hoping you're all right. Hope things are going well for you. We end our conversation with Patriot Pride, but you can end your conversation how you want to. That's your call to action, folks. Get her done. All right. Now we got to get to business. We got two amazing guests here. They've been patient. They're checking us out. We got Dr. Pam Arnell. Our first question and series of discussion is, and this will be for both you and Dr. Arnell and Mike. Your first question is, who are you? Tell us about your service and what's the mission you're working in right now? Dr. Arnell, run at it.
Run at it. Well, I'm going to be like you. As long as I don't have to physically run, I'll run at it. So I am the president CEO of 220. That's what my mission is, but I am Dr. Arnell. You can just call me Pam. I'm happy with that. I live in Tennessee, and a little bit about me. You know, my husband was a veteran. He served 26 years, and he was in Desert Storm. And he passed away in July 2023. He ended up getting cancer from being in Desert Storm. He was in the 249th Engineer Battalion. And then he rolled over into the National Guard and was stationed off of Sitco Drive in Nashville at Joint Force headquarters for many years. I got connected to 220 actually through my fire department. So I'm a volunteer in the volunteer fire department at Giles County Fire and Rescue. I've been in since 2008. Right now I'm an auxiliary member, also known as Big Mama. That's what everybody calls me, from the first responder world. And my mission is just to, heal trauma. But in addition to that, end suicide amongst our armed forces and our first responders, because it continues to still be high in 2025, which is a shame.
Well, it's a blessing to have you here, and it's also a blessing that you're picking up the iron, so to speak, to continue a mission and give it your best. And just it's amazing to watch the work you're doing on social media. And you came in this last week and had a very long, that's not a complaint, but dynamic conversation with us in regards to collaborating and working together. And I'm excited for the future, sister, and I hope we get to do a lot of stuff. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I have to say, thank you, Andrew Wooten. So Andrew is one of my ambassadors. He said, hey, Big Mama, we're going to be contacting you.
He is a musician down from the Southern Carolinas area, and just an amazing brother, and was on just a bunch of weeks ago. And again, bringing Dr. Arnell, and we have another connection today with another musician that Miss Arnell has brought to us, and we'll get that all lined up. But again, thank you. We don't get to do what we do without the amazing network of brothers and sisters that serve. Now, if we can lighten their load as well and help more, we got roughly 58,000 organizations across the country, and I don't think we're getting the job done. We're losing 6,000 veterans a year, and some argue almost twice as many first responders. We don't get to put a hard thumb on that data, because they kind of get mixed into the common folk, which I understand it. Our brothers and sisters need help, and that's why we're here. Mr. Corrado.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Mike Corrado. I'm a retired Marine infantry officer. And as far as military service goes, I spent the first 5 years of the Marine Corps down in the Camp Lejeune area when I wasn't deployed to various parts of the world. I got out for about 4 or 5 years, and I pursued a music career, which may be a little strange to some, but did that. And when we were touring, it was all our whole band was made up of Marines, so we had a common background and common belief in mission accomplishment and goals and all that kind of stuff. And we were running around doing 200, 250 shows a year, playing everywhere we could, having some, some big shows and small shows and headliners and all that kind of stuff. And then 9/11 happened, and I was called back, and we had to take a brief pause. Actually, it wound up being much longer than brief, but I was mobilized for a year, which turned into 2, which turned into 3, and then the 4th year we were deployed to Fallujah, Iraq, and from there I wound up going back on active duty through the active reserve program, and finished out the rest of my 28 years as a commissioned officer and retired 2020. Recently moved to Shelbyville, Tennessee, where we built a studio called Harmony Hill, and we host a lot of veterans for songwriting events and recording projects. And we believe that music is good medicine, and we are in just working in healing through music.
So exciting. Gets me salivating, gets me absolutely, my brain is spinning 1 billion miles an hour, and I'm just excited about what we have for conversations in the future and how we can put this all together. Music is like food, and everyone consumes food pretty much on the daily. Honestly, if you thought about it, I'm willing to believe that almost everyone listens to some kind of music every single day. I mean, yep. I don't know that anyone's allergic to music. I mean, there's some kind that I make my ear ring, but I don't think that I'm allergic to any of it. Super excited, brother. And so we've had some conflict in our technology, and we've had some stuff not work the way that we wanted to tonight, and it is what it is. But I do have one of your songs. We have all of the songs loaded that we have planning, but they're not all got videos to them. So we'll do that. But I do have Stand. Do you want to have a lead in for Stand?
Let's see. Stand, I wrote that in 2010. I was stationed in Hawaii at the time. We shot a music video for it while I was down there on the airfield of Marine Corps Base Kaneohe Bay, which was kind of cool. It was nice to have friends that worked over there, and the Marine Corps let us use their bus, and we worked through Headquarters Marine Corps and the TV and film office out of LA to make sure that we had all the appropriate checks in order to use Marine assets and use the facility there. Recorded it in Edwin McCain's studio in Greenville, South Carolina, and it's been on CMT and a bunch of other places. But really, it's a song for those who have served and who currently serve, and the families, and most importantly, a tip of the hat to our fallen. And I think that's about it.
All right. This is Mike Corrado with Stand.
Some signed up first chance they could at 17 and had their mama sign the paper so they can leave. And on the bus ride out of town, the families gathering round and wave as they'd leave. And they come from the shores of Carolina, through the plains to the hills of California, with a hunger deep inside and a burning desire to be free. And they stand upon my wall, and they stand up for our soul, and they stand for the ones who've gone before. They stand. Everyone wants to be a hero, don't want to pay the price. You think living free comes easy, just ask those who sacrifice. As they stand for the chance to believe, oh, stand so we can be anything we want to be. Oh, stand so our children can be free, and they stand. It's a time to fight and a time to fold. Stand up on a wall, and they stand. They stand up for us all, and they stand. For the ones who've gone before, they stand. And we stand for the chance to believe. Oh, stand. So our children can be free, and we stand. We say prayers for those no longer with us, and the families who stand behind those who protect us. On the bus riding back to town, everyone gathers round from those who stay.
That is Mike Corrado and Stand. That's what are your thoughts when you hear that song?
Makes me think of a lot of people. When I see the video and hear the song, one of the things that I think was really cool is I got to meet a great video producer while I was stationed in Hawaii, and the Marine Corps let us use the bus that you saw there. But the guy that's sitting in the bus driver's seat, his name is Jim Ward, and he is a Marine, and he fought at the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir. So he is a member of the Frozen Chosen. And the young Marine that played, the new guy, his name was Daniel Sanchez, and I'm kind of sitting in the bus singing the song, but Daniel gets on the bus, and we have a member of the Frozen Chosen, and there's not many, if not many of them left, and Jim wound up passing away a couple years after that video, but we were just honored to have him in it, and he let us use some of his memorabilia, and we got to go to his house and talk to him, and it's just an amazing experience. And it kind of represents, me sitting on the bus. I kind of represent the folks that are currently serving, since I was on active duty at the time, and then the young Marine who's stepping on the bus. He's kind of starting his journey within the Marine Corps, and then you've got Jim, who represents the past, or our veteran population, the war fighters out there that have established the legacy that we are charged with living up to. So that's a big part of it for me. There's funny little things about the video. I got to use a lot of my pictures from the Iraq deployment in there. So a lot of the pictures in there, those are my guys, and just kind of proud of that one.
Did you realize that you were running a risk in life? Because, this has been a number of years since you put that video out. You are creating a living memorial for the brothers that you served with. And again, the other gentleman as a bus driver. And you've created a memorial with a great backtrack of amazing music that will get to your heart, because it got you got me the feels, man. It is what it is. It happens more than once on this show, and I can't imagine, because it's like your birthright. I mean, I've got a 13 fox sitting about 10 feet away from me, playing video games with his buddies that are still serving. And that's my proudness. This is your child that's in the world where everyone gets to see. We get to brag about it. We get to thank you for it. And you are sharing a testament to the men and women who have served with you. So thank you. I mean,
well, I think over time, I've realized just how powerful music is. It's one thing to listen to it. It's another thing to write it and create it. But it's a whole different level when, especially there's a song called On My Watch Tonight. I wrote that right before I deployed, kind of a Marine's journey from boot camp to the front lines kind of thing. And it wound up getting some radio play, and it wound up getting used in a lot of homecomings for all the deployments that have happened over the many years. It gets played for the families at Paris Island while they're waiting, to see their brand new Marines during the family time they have down there. It's been played at countless memorials and services like that, and it's just those are the most humbling, and that's when you realize that it's more than a song. It's a means to communicate. It's a means to for people to grab on to something and understand that there are other people that that share similar feelings. One of the things that I came across when I was in Hawaii is I went to a show by just an absolute master of the ukulele named Jake Shimabukuro, and I went there and I saw on his merch table that there was an organization, and one of their things was, their motto was "Music is good medicine," and I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I've been kind of championing that cause because for me it's a huge communication tool. Sometimes I have noticed, that when I retired as a colonel, and the more senior I got, sometimes the more disconnected you are from the troops. And the one thing that always allowed us to communicate and just, kind of shoot the bull around the smoke pit or whatever was just talking about music or playing music or passing the guitars around. I just posted a video, I don't know, a month or so ago, but I'm playing guitar in an auxiliary building right next to Charlie Surgical in Camp Fallujah. And, when we could, we would gather in there. And this is an auxiliary building that we used for emergency blood draws when it was a bad day. It was used as an overflow morgue. But we got to use it for a good cause. And that was really awesome to, be able to pass guitars around, have a little feeling of home. And I got to really understand that music is very powerful. That's why in my retirement now, having built a studio and working with veterans and kind of helping them through the process and healing through music, it's what we do.
This young man right here just commented, and we had him on a couple. He's a very young one, and well, he looks younger than what he is. I think he's younger than what he is. But if you don't know Michael Allen, he is down there in Tennessee as well, and we'd love for you guys to connect. We just connected him with Shannon Book as well. They're kind of got that same nice, gruff, go get it kind of style. So
yeah, Shannon's been out to the studio. We've done a couple of events together, and we traded emails and texts for the longest time, and finally got to see him in the studio at Harmony Hill, and it was just a great experience. And Scotty Hastings was there, and I don't know if you had a chance to talk to him, but just great people, and Shannon gets it. He writes from the heart, and he writes from deep within. And I don't want to speak for him, but I'm fairly certain that music is something that heals him as well.
I think that's one of the pictures we got rid of recently. That sucks. Oh well. We'll get through that. Shannon. and Scotty. We brought both of them up for an event here in Minnesota, and that's at least a two ring circus with those two yahoos around. So we know what happened when you did that. So we love them to death, and we appreciate them. And Scotty's tearing it up out there, man. He's getting it done, and he's got some good things going for him right now. And so
absolutely, I think he was just out playing at the Arizona baseball stadium out there.
Well, everyone, all these artists that we're talking about, folks, you can hear on WeP3 Radio. So it's really super simple. Andrea will do an amazing job of getting the link in here. But WeP3 Radio, here's a promise. And this is nice on that SEO stuff. Not that I paid a dime for it. But you type in WEP3. I'm pretty confident it's going to populate immediately. And it's online now. And you can hear all of our artists that come on to our show. We've got, I think Mike might officially be like 201th, I think. I know we were kind of teetering there for a minute. And so we might have broke the 200 musician mark. So
nice.
That's pretty good. So
That's nice. That's good.
And we call them our artists, but we don't own them, folks. We get that fight. Sorry, Mike, if you're offended by when we say we call it a relationship. And some people get upset when we say our artists. We're not a label. We're not management. Granted, we do some behind the scenes managing because we try to get our veterans across the country everywhere we can. And organizations reach out to us because we do this. And hey, we notice you had we can make it happen. We don't take a cut for any of it. We just get our guys and gals out there so everyone can hear them because there's value to them. And they are just as good as anyone you hear on any other radio. So our radio station is just as good as any of those other radios. There's not a lot of advertising. And so go to WeP3 Radio. Put it on during the day. There is a couple. There is Doc Todd. Love him. Rest his heart, rest his soul. He's not with us any longer, but he was a Marine corpsman that wore his music on his sleeve. We got to figure out how to get all of his content after the 9 p.m. level. So maybe not play it in your 8th grade classroom unless you want to hear Doc Todd drop a couple of F-bombs in your classroom.
I might get in trouble
We
when I
appreciate
start.
you, Michael Allen. And Jack Yoder has a song about cocaine. Not everyone is appreciative of that. It is what it is, but we want them. Dr. Arnell, tell us about your mission. Tell us the things you're doing and getting done.
Well, so 220 started April was 7 years ago. It's a peer program nationwide. Basically, it's fully remote, except for when I travel for events. Like, there's times I get asked to go and speak at events or be at an event, and I do that. And during those times when I'm at those events, then 99.9% of the time, I'm actually working with mission clients as well. So, the data, according to the VA, 7 years ago said that there were 22 a day that died by suicide. Well, really, truly, that number's higher. But based on that premises, 220 was spoken into existence. And the mission is simple. We're wanting to take that 22 to 0. So there's no more suicides within our armed forces, no more suicides in our first responders. And then they're healed from that trauma.
What kind of activities do you do? What are you doing? We call it our beacon. We get our beacon out there for everyone to see the green because our green doesn't go unseen. All branding. What do you guys do?
Well, let's say I'll be in Tampa in August at the National Convention for the Legion. I'll be going to DC this week. Actually, I'll be leaving out Thursday. Then I'll be in Virginia Beach, and then I'll be for a Walk Brook for 220, and that's actually in conjunction with Carry the Load. So Carry the Load is a nationwide nonprofit program, And then I'll be speaking at Augusta. So I've been asked by the VA to attend and speak as an expert on suicide prevention and trauma. And I'll be going down for that. And then I'll be going to Dallas for the Carry the Load Memorial event.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here, but we're all professionals, so we know how this works.
Yeah.
And there's no way to do, I don't think there's any way to do it in 30 seconds, but give us your 30-second speech on what our veterans and first responders need to hear.
30 seconds. So if you are the armed forces, and that covers any branch, we actually include the National Guard, armed forces, first responders, which are going to be LEOs, fire, EMT, paramedics, corrections, 911 dispatchers, and you're suffering from trauma. We have a peer program that is not talk therapy. It's a specific process that will put you through where you're not talking about the content of that trauma. There's no cost to you, and we do not report to the VA, and we do not report to the employer if you're a first responder, and it's fully remote.
Oh.
That I'm in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I wasn't really timing you, so really, you could have taken 4 minutes, and I would have. Good job. That's what I'd have done. But so you said in that little stanza that you do this peer connection without talking about the content of the trauma. Explain that piece.
So the trauma resiliency protocol and the emotion management process are the two protocols that we use for trauma and for negative emotion. The negative emotion are going to be those things related to that trauma, like fear, terror, helplessness, survivor guilt. We get a lot of that. Basically, once we do a pre-assessment on you, it's going to be a trauma screen, depression screen, and an anxiety screen. Then we're going to connect you with a peer coach. And that peer coach and you work out a time that worked for you to go through the process. And you're at home. It's, like I said, fully remote. But it's basically getting you in a safe place before and a safe place after. And you're not actually watching that event. It's kind of like a third person piece, but what happens is, trauma is an injury, and so many people call it post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, realistically, it's more neurological. So trauma gets stuck in that amygdala. So when you have the fight, flight, or freeze, it's because those events are stuck in the amygdala. So by going through the specific process that we put you through, then it's getting the brain, basically the neuroplasticity, the neural pathways rewired to where you're getting that REM sleep, and then placing that trauma over into the hippocampus so that it becomes neutral. So the content's there, content never changes. But what happens is, because it's considered a traumatic event and it's not processed, that is what causes those physical reactions, the triggers, the nightmares, and all that. And then after we get it over into the hippocampus, you'll think about it, but it's neutral because it's processed. Again, the neurological piece.
How many peer supports do you have in your network?
So we've trained, oh my gosh, over 300. We're at about almost 400 now that we've actually trained across the U.S. That's going to be armed forces, first responders, all branches. And then they're across the U.S. We've got one who just went to Australia. So, they're all over. And anyone that is struggling, I don't believe in a waiting list. So if you ever look at the website, you're going to see the 800 number, and that 800 number comes to my phone. So typically when someone reaches out when they're struggling and they're calling that 800 number, they really need more of that clinical piece, and they're getting me. They're not getting some robot. They're not getting, someone that's kind of animated. It's me. And that's for me to get them out of that trigger, get them out of that crisis. And then I get them connected with my social worker, Tricia, who actually gets them set up for their pre-assessment. And then we get them assigned a coach that day. So it's not a waiting list. I mean, there's many times that, you know, I've gotten calls at 8, 9, and 10 o'clock at night, and I'm going to take those calls. Now, if I'm in a meeting and the 800 number calls, then I call them after I get done with that meeting. And then they're just surprised that somebody actually called them back.
That is correct. So that's where the People's Patriot Project came from. Mm-hmm. Because I was taking calls and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you answered."
You answered. Or
and I'm like,
back.
Yeah. And they're like, "I've reached out to A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and they don't return the calls. They don't answer my emails. I got a postcard from one. I got a coupon from another." And I'm just like, yikes. And I'm telling you, folks, I'm putting this out there for the world to hear. When our brothers and sisters have the gumption to actually make the call, they're in crisis right now. They don't have time for your BS. Right. So if you are not prepared to take the call, get rid of your number. Get your stuff off the line. Quit muddying the waters. Our brothers and sisters need help now. And we're a non-referral organization. So literally when I have something that I can't handle, I call up the next person down the line. I have a feeling Dr. Arnell is going to be in my list. Well, she's already in my list, but it'd be like, "Hey, you know, Dr. Arnell, we got so-and-so down in your space. They're on the line with me right now. This is Bill. This is," because they don't need the pass off. The pass off is going to delineate them from going to find the help that they want, and their next path might be sitting in the parking lot with their iron, and that BS got to stop, folks. I'm telling you right now. It's literally written into the bylaws of the People's Patriot Project. We are here to cut the fluff. We're not going to bully you. We're not going to beat you up, but we're going to hold you accountable. And if you're not doing it, get out and join us. We got a network. The network's building. I hope that we can create this partnership with Dr. Arnell and what they're doing. We're excited about it. And so I hope you can tell I'm a little bit passionate about this. I mean, it's we've lost too many, and I'm not ready to lose any more. It hurts my heart when Dr. Arnell says we want to take it to zero. I really would like to take it to zero. I'm more of the realist and say, you know what, let's take one off the 22 today. And I mean, if we get 4, we'll get 4. And if we get 22, hey, hallelujah, because that's what we're trying to get done. But folks, if you are noticing, and again, back to our call to action, if you have a brother or sister you know is struggling, bring them to the show. Put them online for the show. Put them here. If it's critical, then call us. Give us a name so we can reach out on social media. We can give us a number. Ask them, is it okay if I gave your contact information to someone that I think can give you a resource? That might start a hard conversation, but we are here for you. And I don't want to take away from Dr. Arnell's limelight because this is her show, but I'm hoping we are working together. So,
absolutely, we are. Yes, we are working together.
Mike, what are you working on? What is your mission doing right now?
Well, one of the things that I'm doing personally, because it just kind of happens to coincide with timing and where we are in life, is, I spoke earlier about when I came off active duty the first time, and we had a band. It was called the Mike Corrado Band, and we toured all over the place. And it was full of Marines, and the drummer, his name is Stacy Lamont Shidnor, just an amazing drummer and percussionist. He's currently out touring with Shaka Khan. I think last time I caught up with him, he was in New Zealand, but he lives close to me here in Nashville. He's down at the studio all the time tracking. And then Joe Yankel, he was a Marine, and we just and we had a great time playing music many years ago. And since this year is the 25th anniversary of the last time we released recorded material, we all decided to convene at Harmony Hill, and we've been recording, and we're putting out our first new music together as a band in 25 years. And we have 2 songs that are getting ready to come out on May 16th. So Friday, May 16th, we're just going to release 2 songs out of about, 10 or 12 that we've got ready to roll. The first one's called I'm Alive, and then the next one is I Got You. And it kind of ties into our mission, with I'm Alive. Both of those songs, they're not overtly military. You're not going to hear it in the lyrics, but it's just really it's just about perseverance and resilience and the ability to overcome, and those things are hard to find sometimes. But, when you listen to that song, I'm Alive, it's like, going through tough times, but, at least you're alive to do it, because you can't fix something if you're not here. So, it's just kind of about a little bit of, self-empowerment, and just kind of, getting through it, and knowing that other people are going through it as well. That's kind of what I Got You is about. And we've had an artist join us on there. Her name is Myra Washington, just an amazing singer. And we're really excited about getting that stuff out there and getting it out for our fans and letting them hear that, but otherwise we just continue to work on projects at the studio, both audio and visual, and trying to organize different events for veterans, giving them opportunities to showcase themselves in and around Nashville, and out there when we can help them record and release their material. So I've been asked by a nonprofit based out of Alabama called A Hero, which is American Heroes Enjoying Recreation Outdoors. There was a lot of hunting and fishing and land management and outdoors type stuff where they host a series of retreats. They're actually in Gulf, where the Orange Beach, Alabama this weekend, wrapping up an event down there. But they asked me to run their music and music therapy program. So we have a little label. It's called A Hero Records, AHERO Records, aherorecords.com. You can check that out. But basically we have veterans and first responders who are singer-songwriters, and some of them we help with songwriting. Some of them we get together with some hit songwriters from Nashville and help write the stories of some veterans and put those out as well. We host retreats at Harmony Hill, and we just kind of help give them a platform to get out there, because it's not always easy to do. And when we can help our brothers and sisters who wear the cloth to get out there, then that's just that's success in our eyes.
There is a part inside of me that is boiling in fury in the fact that 3 years ago, we kind of coattailed the Josie Awards. Mm-hmm. And because we had Adam Martin of Blackbird Anthem was up for a nomination. We had, and I can't remember all back then, but we had like 8 veterans up for nominations for Josie Awards. And so I got hold of them. I said, hey, we'd like to come down, and can we host the red carpet? And they're like, yeah. And me and Andrea get to host the red carpet at the Grand Ole Opry. Why? No reason whatsoever. And the sad part is the line was so long, we never got to see any of our veterans. But we also brought 28 veteran musicians into Nashville that weekend, and we played 6 venues in 5 days. And wow. Chris Turner was there. I mean, and Big Vinny of Toby Keith's label back in the day, Trailer Choir. Now he's his own. Yeah. He had to stay at his resort, which was an hour outside of Nashville. We'll never do that part again, because when you're playing till 1 o'clock in the morning, then you get there and all these fools want to play until 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. We got to be on the road by 9 to get back into town. Yeah, me and Andrea our knuckles were dragging by the end of the week, and took us 3 weeks to recoup from that. But my first interview was with Willie Golden of the Oak Ridge Boys, which, again, we have no business talking to Willie Golden, And that was on a Sunday, Josie Awards. And we'd been there since Tuesday already. And some of our artists were like falling off. They were struggling and their voices were gone. And I'm like, yeah, your voices are gone because you play for 14 hours a day. And I was like, Mr. Golden, how have you done this for? At that point, I mean, he's been involved in music 60 years. I mean, he's I don't think he's quite 90 yet, but, and I'm like, how have you made, and he's like, you just got to pace yourself. I'm like, yeah, we didn't do that this week. I know that, but
Yeah. Well, you got to treat it like a job too. If that's something you want to do and you want to do that as a career, you got to realize that's your job. You know, it's not always the party and the drinking and smoking and doing all that kind of stuff. And, you know, there's a certain amount of that comes with it. But if you don't pace yourself and if you're out there for the party, then I'm not sure that, you know, that your career is going to go very far. And that's just kind of some of the things that we sit down and get kneecap to kneecap with the veterans, and we talk to them and just say, you know, hey, if you're serious about this, you know, here's the pathway to help.
And there's a time and place. And I mean, we were celebrating when we were getting this many people together and celebrating
absolutely.
What we're doing. So yeah, 100%, totally get it. Okay. We're going to try something. It hasn't worked out great in the past, but our platform has a way of playing videos that aren't downloaded. So we're going to try it. If it's terrible, because sometimes it doesn't sound great for me, let's do a thumbs down because we got the MP3s. I'd rather put good content out there than bad content. So if it's horrible, Mike, give me the thumbs down. I'll see it, and we'll take it off and we'll go back. Give us a lead in to, I got to look at it, Still in the Fight.
Still in the Fight. It is. I wrote that one when I was living in Hawaii, and I was actually transitioning from Marine Corps Forces Pacific to be the executive officer of the Wounded Warrior Regiment. And my monitor, the detailer that provides the assignments, he said, "Hey, you know, what do you want to do?" And I said, "What do you got?" He said, "Well, I got the XO, the Wounded Warrior Regiment." And I said, "Done." And not a lot of people wanted it. You know, this was 2011 to 2014, kind of the height of the kinetic injuries coming out of Afghanistan, where kids are really getting really banged up. And I had a Marine named Aaron Menken, and he was with me in Fallujah, and he went out with 325, and he was involved in a AAV accident where they hit a triple stack and 6 Marines were killed, and he was burned very badly. Spent 2 years down at the time it was called Brooke Army Medical Center down in San Antonio. Now it's San Antonio Military Medical Center. But it was almost 2 years before I could actually get back and, you know, get down there to go see him. And he's in the video. And there's also a Marine named Spanky Gibson. He was one of the first Marines. He was shot in Ramadi through the knee, almost bled out, but he was one of the first Marines to actually redeploy to combat zone with a prosthetic. And then there was also Kyle Carpenter. So again, we went back to Edwin McCain's studio in Greenville, South Carolina. Kyle Carpenter, who later received the Medal of Honor, he was down there recovering. It was very early in his process. You can see he was very, very frail. But you know, the comeback he's made, and the resilience, and it's just amazing. And still in the fight. You know, Etiam in Pugna is the Italian phrase, the motto for the Wounded Warrior Regiment, which is, you know, Latin for still in the fight. And you know, I wrote the song, finished it in the studio with them. I wanted to run the words by them, make sure it was right, make sure it was accurate, make sure it reflected, you know, their journey. And we got to put it together. And you know, I encourage everybody to go check out that video because there's just absolute freaking warriors in it.
Oh, so no pressure here, Mark. Don't mess this one up. It's probably one of the most important ones here, but we'll give it a shot. This is Mike Corrado, Still in the Fight.
The nighttime is the hardest, the loneliness and the darkness. I find myself getting to know these scars. Yeah, you got a piece of me, but it's just a little piece of me. And I've still got this fire inside my heart. You know the battle's far from over, I'm still getting stronger, and I'm still in the fight. I've been knocked down, but I'll be alright. And I'm still by your side. May seem broken, but I'm holding tight. I'm still here, I'm still in the fight. When said it wouldn't be easy, there's still those who need me. I won't be the one to let them down. So bring on the rain, bring on the pain. It may take time, but I'm coming back around. There's a hope inside of me, getting stronger with every breath I breathe. And I'm still in the fight, been knocked down, but I'll be alright. Yeah, I'm still by your side. May seem broken, but I'm holding tight. 'Cause when I wake up, I'm already won. I'll get stronger when the going gets tough. You can't stop me now, 'cause I'm still here. And I'm still in the fight. I've been knocked down, but I'll be alright. Yeah, I'm still by your side. May seem broken, but I'm holding tight. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here.
See this property on Craigslist?
Sorry about the typo there, Mike.
That's all good. I do have a question though. Where did you find the picture that's been running in the promo?
On your Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, that was when I was on active duty, and we were living in we were back in Jacksonville, and I had just come back from fishing, and I had a casting net, and the shrimp were running, and I had a whole basket full of shrimp, and I'm just dirty and nasty, and I looked at that picture, and I'm like, yep, that's me shucking some shrimp on the front porch.
It's
super rock star. Yeah, it's super rock star.
I actually thought it was endearing, to be honest with you, and it was. Again, from what I understand in our conversations, you did fill out the sheet and the form and stuff, and I was away from my tools at that time, and I'm just like, you want to know what? This is not an attack on anybody. If you've been a guest on this show, zero attack. We know you're busy. But one out of about 30 times a year, someone fills out that form. And it's just like, we put it out there. We make sure that we want to have the information. And it's fine. I get it. So I have created a pattern for myself where I just go find the information for for myself, and I just like, okay, here you go. It's quicker, and it's amazing how a lot of people don't take pictures of them, like of themselves. Now, they have pictures of them and their wife, and again, we don't want to exploit their wife in this moment. Granted, I want to make sure you do a shout out to your wife, because they are the glue that holds us all together, and we support those that supported our veterans and first responders because they didn't ask for the mission, but they
my
got
wife's a veteran too, so she's an Air Force flight medic, and she ran medevacs in Afghanistan. She deployed before I did, which was a bit of a tough pill to swallow as a Marine, but she super proud of her. She retired from the Air Force, and so yeah, she gets it, and I think that's probably what helped a lot with our relationship and marriage through a couple decades of war.
and that's a tough space too, because there's a lot of veteran families that can't hold on to that because and again, so bless you guys, and bless your wife.
Yeah. No, I'm not mad at the picture. It was a great day. It was my first time I actually, properly threw a casting net and actually successfully caught some shrimp.
Nice. I gotta say, Peterson, you're the whole spiel right here. These two rock stars both submitted all their information, and
well, I just thought it was provided in the instructions, and so I just
Follow the instructions.
This is what I must do.
Oh, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you.
So much better than 8th graders.
Yeah.
I'm
Much
kidding.
better than most people.
That's why my eyes got big when you said 1 in 30, and I'm going, wow, okay.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. I get it. People get busy, and it's like, okay, well, whatever. And the music part's always the toughest part, because not every veteran has YouTube content. They don't all have Spotify content. And today that didn't even matter because my stuff wasn't working to do it. And so check out that Marine. Hooah.
No, and there you go. There's one.
Well, it was good that they got the name spelled right on your name tape on there. We'll get that fixed on the side too.
I'm sorry, Peterson. I just needed to fix that for you. Oops.
Thanks for catching it. I never got the pleasure to wear I got the Woodland BDUs. That's how long it's been since I've been out. So
yeah, that's where I started with those. That and the black boots or the green jungles or.
2002 was when I departed, and that was I spent 14 years in at that point, and Woodland is all I'd ever known. And black polished boots, gosh dang, that's the amount of hours I spent on boots compared to what these knuckleheads get to do now.
And there's like zero break-in period for those things too, which as an infantryman is important. But I remember the whole Woodlands thing, and then when you're in garrison, there's the whole starch and make them look good, and you get in them and you walk around and they're crunchy. But when I got the new the Marpats, the green, both the Woodland and the Desert, they just felt like pajamas to me. They were so soft and so comfortable, and I was just like, man, it's really nice not to spend hours upon hours, to work on a uniform.
You're not my favorite person right now.
Oh.
I was artillery, so it didn't matter what ours was. It was always either torn, beat up, holes in it. Didn't matter. Why is your uniform, Jack? I'm a red leg, sir. Okay, never mind. It's, the camo netting's pulled every button off my uniform. It's so. Dr. Arnell, what's next and the big thing for you and your mission?
To continue the research. So whenever I was asked to come on in 2021, I recognized that it was very important to have that independent research, because 220 did not have independent research prior to. It was someone in-house that did it, but outside of that. So I basically reached out to different universities, and Arizona State University contacted me and Our first study was actually just published in August last year. So for people that don't understand, research takes a minute, especially the first one. But August last year, the first study was published. And since then, we've had a second study that is now in peer review. And then a third study was submitted for peer review the third week of January this year. And they asked me to co-author that one. So I've been blessed to co-author that study. And then there's another study that's coming out where I will be co-authoring this year, in an additional to 2 other studies based on, the process, based on the data that we collect as far as their pre and post scores. So that's getting over that hurdle to get, the academia side of the world to really understand the process that we use works. One of the things that was, really, I knew it, but for ASU to recognize it was when they did that first study and they said every single person lowered their scores when they went through the process. I mean, I saw that because I'm the one who keeps up with that. You can't just have anybody have access to that. That's confidential information. And so we do a trauma screen, a depression screen, and an anxiety screen. So let's say you start out, the trauma screen is the highest score is 80. So I'm going to randomly pick some numbers. So let's say someone scores a 65 on the trauma screen. Well, once they go through the process, then, our goal is to get that to 0. But to be clinically significant, you have to have that 10-point reduction. But one of the things that ASU found was that when you're seeing 30, 40, and 50-point reductions, that's even more clinically significant, which supports that what we're doing is working. And then when that was with our first responder study. So that was the first one. The second one that's been submitted is for the armed forces, and it was the same thing. So it's been a reoccurring thing that they've been able to see with doing these studies is every time that someone has gone through the process and they completed it, you see where those numbers drop. And it's a huge, in the academia side of it, I mean, you have to have that. Let's just be real. Not only do we know that the process works, but especially in the clinical field, they want to know that there's been that peer review. And I work really hard to get that done so that when I'm speaking at different events and saying this is what, we're showing, this is what the study is reflecting, then they're more apt to listening versus just listening to the testimonies from our mission clients. When our mission clients get through going through the process and they're asking, hey, what can I do? Who can I share this with? Well, if you know somebody struggling, let them know. Tell them to call me. And getting that information out.
We've known you for probably about 3 hours, other than what I see on social media and our meeting the other day. But you, in my mind, seem to be one of the most thorough people I've run into with actually trying to accommodate data. Even in our teacher world, they say 6 weeks of data is kind of the benchmark. I'm like, 6 weeks doesn't tell you squat.
It don't tell you anything.
Depending upon when and where you have that data. If you do it at the beginning of the school year, it takes 6 weeks to even know your kids' names. If you do the data in the middle of the year, they're excited for Christmas break. If you do it at the end of the year, they're already on summer break. So 6 weeks doesn't do anything. So you are investing an astronomical amount of time, which I'm not hearing a complaint in your voice. It's just, it's a step. And sadly, it's time we don't have, unfortunately, because again, our number is 22. Depending on where you look at that, the number is between 13 and 47 a day right now. And ouch. Mm-hmm. Brothers and sisters, we're coming. We got you.
Right.
You gotta also be able to help yourself too. And we're here for you. And we're gonna try to get this beacon up in the world for everyone to see. And we've shared some of this information with Dr. Arnell and how we want to accomplish that. And we're going to continue to collaborate and make that work. And thank you. You are a blessing to first responders and veterans. And again, why do you do first responders, people? Well, reality, about 63% of the people that are first responders have prior service. So that's the reason why. Plus the fact that they are putting on a uniform. They are losing their sweat, the blood, their limbs, their lives, their times, their resources to accommodate all those that lay their big fat heads on the pillows of freedom every single day. So we thank you.
You know,
Mike. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you don't have to thank me. So, I mean, it's at the end of the day, I have to be able to lay my head down and I have to know that I've done everything that I was supposed to do to make sure I leave nobody behind. And I say that because it was instilled in me when my husband and I got together, you know, way back in the day, a long time ago. Some of you out there probably weren't even born yet, but a long time ago. He had just gotten out of Desert Storm, and you know, it was very imprinted in my brain to leave nobody behind. And he told me, he said that that's what I'm going to do. Even in the civilian world, I'll still be in the National Guard, but I will do everything to make sure I leave nobody behind. And I heard that, and he kept saying that. And I think he thought I didn't listen to him, but I did. But you know how married couples are. And so, so 4 years ago, he was diagnosed with colon cancer. They were able to remove it. And then January 1st, 2023, he thought he was having a heart attack. So I take him out here to Hillside, and that's where we found out he had pancreatic cancer. And when it got to the point where he had to go into hospice, he told me, he said, you know, I love you. And this is before he went into that deep sleep before he passed away. He said, I love you, but you make sure you do everything in your power to leave nobody behind. Don't leave anyone behind for me. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I don't do that. So that's why, you know, when I'm answering my call or the phone at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock, I don't care if it's a weekend holiday, whatever, you know, that's a promise that I'm keeping because we're all worth it. And no matter how we look at it, every one of us deserve to be here. And there should not be anything such as trauma or any other issues to cause someone to get to that point, because I'm here for you. I got you. When I say I got you, buddy, I got you. So that's why I do what I do. That's why.
Can we say we got you?
We got you.
So I'm going to get ready to go under the bus real quick here. Are you being taken care of?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Because every day that I know that there was one who did not die while I was doing what I was supposed to do, that keeps me going.
All right.
And every day that, you know, when I think about what my son's doing, what my daughter-in-law's doing, and my grandkids, that keeps me going. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I'm good.
Perfect. Well, you're moving up on my list of contacts, just so you know. Okay. Mike, what are you working on now, brother?
Well, I'm working on rebuilding our house. We went on a trip, a family bucket list trip over to Italy, and we came back to a house that's completely flooded. So working on that, but luckily that's not part of the studio. So, you know, we're working on wrapping up a project for a veteran artist. Actually, he's not a veteran just yet. He's a gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps Reserve. His name is Tim Murray. We're working on a single for him, getting ready to put that out there. We've got a host of folks coming to the studio, and just, you know, letting the music lead us.
All right. Well, we got one more little stanza left in our show. I got you, or I'm alive.
I think in honor of Dr. Pam, I think we ought to do the "I got you" because, I think it's gonna. I think it'd be a nice nice outro soundtrack.
Let me get this. We got to do a little rearranging here. It's all good. You got a lead in for that.
Wow. Well, I think you just need to hear the words, but it's, when times are tough, I got you, when the world is heavy, I got you, and it kind of leads up to that. It just kind of lets people know that there's a lot of people that are in the same boat, but then there's people like you and Dr. Pam and folks out there that are kind of spreading the message about veterans and veteran needs and veterans in crisis and our first responders. And there's a lot of people that answered that call, and to be able to do the things you're doing to get the word out and help them, you exemplify the I and I got you.
This is Mike Corrado with I Got You.
We have been down before. We keep on growing, and we've seen the worst of things. We keep on growing. It shouldn't be a crime to be all alone. This ain't the time to let them go. So if you really wanna feel the way it feels, be alive, gotta keep on growing. I keep on growing. If you really wanna shake and move, you know what you gotta do, gotta keep on growing. And if you really, really wanna be heard, use your heart instead of your words, keep on growing. Now it shouldn't be a crime to be all alone. No, this ain't the time and go on. So if you really wanna feel the way it feels, be alive, I'll keep on growing. When the world gets heavy, when the world unsteady,
Me, probably easier to hear me with my mic on.
It's so much easier.
That is Mike Corrado with I Got You. There's some soul in that one, brother.
Yeah.
Good.
No, and like I just said, that you just world premiered it, because nobody outside the band has heard it, and my parents and my family downstairs, because I'm in Austin for my nephew's wedding, and they haven't heard it, so I'm sure going to hear a little bit about that. But I appreciate you playing that, and hopefully it can be a little bit of a 4-minute revival for people.
You all right with us
Thank you.
cutting up the show and just sending it out more?
Sure. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I love the video for it. I thought y'all were going to have to stare at me the whole time, and it was going to be weird, but I appreciate you having some type of content behind it.
Show. We can talk about that. That was a great video you put together, Mike. That was awesome.
Thank you. My team worked hard on it.
Yeah, at the end when it actually had cars driving through the mountain, that was actually kind of cool.
That was cool.
I was hoping it was going to end on the flag in Devil's Tower in Wyoming and just go over that spatial look. So
Wyoming.
Yeah, but the whole premise of you gotta keep growing. You can't just sit where you are and just sit in the quagmire every day, and the whole the self-pity and all that stuff. I mean, I get it.
That is a piece that we use regularly in. So we have an affiliate podcaster out in California, and he would start a show out. Let's go, and we were building and growing. It's the contagion effect, and as we were building our relationship, and we were getting all these amazing people coming into the network. I mean, literally, there's a physical growth with the network. But then there is a personal growth within the network that's happening as well. And so we were starting our show on Let's Grow. And then there's the funny nuance of Jonathan is from Louisiana. So he spells grow, Greaux, which fits that branding in my but so Let's Grow. And I love that you just said that, because that's really what it is. You don't have to be the staunch, high and tight, hut two. We're not cleaning our weapons any longer. We're not shining our black boots any longer. We're not starching our uniforms anymore. We are living life. And it's really that simple. Let it go. So we can.
You got to look past the past to move forward.
So this is our final segment, and we always do this at the end because you can't grow until you learn, and your perspective may change or doesn't change or does. And we've already had connections with Dr. Arnell and Mr. Corrado pre-show. Their family's all from the same space. Who would have known? We've got friends that are connected all over the country. We are at Final Thoughts. And so I kind of already started mine accidentally, which wasn't a big deal. I get to jump on my box whenever I want. So there's a note in the background. Do you want to talk about that now, Miss Arnell, or is this post-show?
What? No. However, we can bring it up so that he may hear it. I think it's important that he hears it.
All right. I'm going to let you do it in your final statement. How's that?
Thank you.
All right. Andrea, because Jonathan's not here. I know. Yep. I get to throw you right under there. I've thrown Dr. Arnell under there all night long. So, Andrea, you get to start Final Thoughts tonight.
I have so many. Look at, I'm gonna use Jeremy's words. Look, keep on rolling. Okay, hang on. Let me. I've been typing notes because Jonathan also isn't here. Man, it's hard to do two people's job. Well, we met with Pamela the other night, And I just want to say, well, thank you to both of you for coming on. And Pamela, I don't know, as I was reading my notes, there's inspiration, there's enthusiasm, there's, oh gosh, the words, I have to go look now. Just everything that you do, everything compiles into, just as you said earlier, it's about other people. It's about a promise you made to yourself to follow through with what you promised your husband. But it's now a promise for others. And that is the world. And you are in a position where we want to share that out with the world, because you are in a position, and I didn't know all the research stuff. I don't know if I wasn't in that part of the meeting or if we didn't talk about it the other night, but like Peterson said, we live in a world of data and fact finding and checking. And those numbers just prove that the program is working. The process is phenomenal, because those results don't just pop in. People don't just change like that. And so thank you for everything, absolutely everything that you do. And yes, we are going to be in touch quite a bit. I don't know. It's awesome. And then Mike, thank you so much for being here. So we do this a lot, and I'm a creeper. I'm a researcher, and I used to try to find people I got paid. Now I just try to find people like someone you might know. I'm like, oh, it's a musician. Looks like they served. I'm going to just reach out randomly. So I may have reached out a few times. I know I've seen your name. I know I've listened to your music. I know we have friends, tons of friends in common. So listening to your music is one thing, but having you here to explain it and where it comes from and hear the stories behind it, and pieces of your service that I may never have caught in your write-ups and your bios. And thank you so much for sharing all of that. It doesn't fail. It doesn't go unnoticed how your personality is all right there in that music too. And now I feel your stories in there as well. And to your wife, my word. So she served too. Wait, are you retired? You're retired now. Yes. Okay. And she's retired. Perfect. So yeah, amazing. I just met a lady yesterday who was so excited because her husband's aunt and uncle, I am the coordinator for Wreaths Across America at Fort Snelling here, which is a huge cemetery. But hope this doesn't come out wrong. She was super excited because her aunt is on the front side of, you know how you look down the rows and rows and rows and rows of headstones. It's all the men. And she goes, you look down that row, and there she is. She's on the front. He's on the back side. And I'm like, oh, I mean, that's not funny at all, but it's really kind of cool to see. It's kind of funny, but very cool to see that. And so kudos to both of you for that.
Thank you.
Gosh, thank you for sharing your music. It's awesome. Thank you. And we'll be sharing everything we can as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for what you do. I want to hear Dr. Pam talk about Jelly Roll, though.
Yeah. Dr. Arnell, your turn.
First off, I just want to thank you both for having me, and I want to thank Andrew. So he's actually in South Carolina as well. One of my ambassadors, for talking about 220 and encouraging this whole meeting. So thank you all for that. Mike, your songs and those videos, man, I had some tears going. I'm not even going to lie. Especially I Got You. Thank you. I really love that song.
I'm excited for people to hear it because it makes me feel good too.
Yeah. It hit home to what I, have spent a long time trying to get out in the masses. I got you. When I say I got you, I got you. And so, we have our word. And to me, our word is very, very important. My dad was a cop. So I grew up, when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. And so that word is something that is very important, and so I give you my word. I'm giving, that's the same thing as a handshake back in the old days. Final thoughts, when one, if you are a armed force member, if you are a first responder, spouse, minor child, Gold Star family, please go to our website if you're struggling. There's no cost for you. And I'm going to tell you, like I've been saying, I got you. All you need to do is call the 800 number. You can go to the website. You can submit a contact form on the website. If you want to make a donation, you're able to do that. It is a tax write-off. Just with any nonprofit, that's always something that, nonprofits are working on to do, is making sure you have that ongoing funding to support the mission. One of the things that when we met last week and was talking with them about is I can't tell you the number of times that I've had especially the veteran population, veterans tell me Jelly Roll's songs really get to me, but their perception is that man is rich, has all the connections, and he has resources. And if he's not okay, then what does it make for me? And that, folks, breaks my heart. That breaks my heart because, yes, Jelly Roll's songs are very impactful, but I don't know that he fully realizes what that does to our veterans, first responders, because so many people that get down to that level when they make that decision, and in their mind, they're going, hey, that man's got all the money in the world and he's not okay. What's going to happen to me? There's nothing for me. And I've heard that so many times that literally breaks my heart. When we look at supporting our veterans within the music industry, it's sad that there's not more A-listers out there supporting our veterans that are out there who have gone and served and protected us. And now they're in the music industry. I'm going to challenge all of you A-listers to really support our veterans in the music industry. They deserve that. They're the ones that put that uniform on. They're the ones who went and fought for this country. And that should be something that should really be recognized. And Jelly Roll, if there's a way for you to hear this, and I don't know it is, but I'm just going to challenge you, please call me, because it is clear, and I know you're struggling, and I know you're not a veteran, but man, it breaks my heart to know that you're struggling as well. Please call me. Let me run you through the process. I promise you nobody will know about it. All you got to do is reach out to Andrea, reach out to Mark. If you know Mike, reach out to Mike. Just get with me, because I know that you can make a bigger impact for our veterans by letting those veterans know the healing that you're getting or that you've gotten, and they need to know that. That's what I have to say.
Boom. Mr. Corrado.
I yield. I can't. I just want to let those comments resonate. I yield the floor.
Big sigh. We got this, fam. We got this. You do it together.
Well, now you got a theme song.
Yes.
Love it.
Absolutely. I love that song.
The show every Sunday night is about a boots on the ground organization and a musician that we find out in the world that's had prior service and wants to put their content out there. Not all of our musicians have service related content, and it is what it is. As Mike had said earlier, food, music is food. It's food for the soul. It's food for thought. It's inspiration. It's aspiration. It brings knowledge. It brings hope. It's, as we said tonight, becomes a living memorial of all of our thoughts and where we want to go in life. And you listen to certain musicians because you like what they put out, or you like the content that they have, you like the words that they say, they have a message for you. Again, I don't do this to exploit anybody. Again, everything is out there for. Go hit up WeP3 Radio as much as we want you to. We've got all of our links up there for Mike. Mike will be on WeP3 Radio this week. We will be have debuted his I Got You song. Exciting. I get the chills every time we know that we've been an impactful piece of these people's lives. But we come here on Sundays to make sure you know there is hope. And it doesn't come just from, we pride ourselves. And I know if you get into the Bible, it says don't be prideful, but we pride ourselves in bringing this mission alive and bringing guests like Dr. Arnell and Mike Corrado to you so that you can see the content that they have in their lives and that their content parallels their character. And this character cares about others more than themselves. Bottom line is we just need to be better. Don't listen to your media sources as full force truth. I hate saying that sometimes, but media is not the 5, 6, 9, 10. Media is everything you put into your brain. That's all that's media. It's moms and dads, it's pastors, it's our show. It's your drill sergeant. It is the people that have molded you and made you who you are. And your perspective changes based on the knowledge that you have. Learn and grow and know that we got you. Tomorrow at 4:30, we'll be coming back, the WeP3 team, to do our weekly debrief. Where we share what the People's Patriot Project is, the Love You Shannon book. Gosh, dang, we love you, dude. We come on Mondays at 4:30 to share what we're doing in the world, and everyone is welcome to be part of the mission. Not a part, be part of. We don't get to do this without you. We don't. The listeners, the viewers, Raise Across America, Heroes Media Group, all these organizations that have come on here, Scotty Frazier's Shannon book, those that have come and watched tonight and been on, Dylan Petrie, Frank DeMith, who's very interested in your content as well. It's Mr. Corrado. It's what a blessing. Again, we get to come here every Sunday, be blessed. And we get to tell you again about it on Monday. Next Sunday, we have another show. Of course, my screen changed. Unless someone changed it while I was doing, because that's not the right guess for. Oh, great.
It's Amanda Brown with
Yes.
Battle Buddies and Miss Don Ricks.
The queen of the veteran musicians, Miss Don. Do you know Don Ricks, Mike?
I don't. Can't say that I do.
She's a Nashville artist, and she's got billboards up, and she's like the Barbara Mandrell of veteran music. She's amazing. So come check us out next Sunday. Yeah, we got you 6 at 6. And this week, know that you're gotten, because we all got you. Patriot Pride. This is what you do when you don't have all your buttons ready.
Stalling.